Hello guys, good day wherever you are, and how are you all doing today? Hope you all are doing wonderfully well. Thank you for clicking to watch my video once again. You all know that in this channel we've not hidden our passionate love and support for fidelity, for loyalty, for trust and for love. Also, we don't hide or shy away from our strong aversion, dislike and hatred of infidelity, betrayal, breach of trust and taking advantage of the ones that love and care for you. It is for this reason that lled is often at the boot of our criticism, not because we hate him for any reason, but because his actions speak volumes against that which we hold dearly and strongly in our hearts, which is loyalty, trust, love and faithfulness. But today, my people, another story has come up on the internet which also demands our thorough analysis. It is about one Francisca Amoni, a Ugandan lawyer, a former counselor, and a human rights activist. She is a very prominent member of our society, a very intelligent woman, a very influential woman, a woman that has created this persona, that has created this reputation of being a freedom fighter, of being a defender of the downtrodden, the less privileged, of being the defender of those that have been abused. Guys, in her society, this lady was regarded as a hero. She was regarded as one of the very few that can fight for those that cannot fight for themselves, that can speak for those that cannot speak for themselves. So, with such a reputation, with such great persona, with such charisma, Francisca has managed. She has managed to hide one of the most dangerous attributes, one of the most dangerous secrets that a human being can hide. And guys, what is that dark secret that Francisca has succeeded in hiding from the eyes of those that worship her, that adore her, that celebrate her, the eyes of the people that praise her for her humanitarian works? The secret is simple and straight, that behind the facade of a hero, behind the facade of a defender of the weak, Francisca herself is the culprit. She is the violent one. She is the abuser. She was using the camouflage of a defender to hide the criminality in her nature. My people, it is not uncommon in our society to see preachers of holiness perpetrate the same evil they strongly preach against on the pulpit. They perpetrate and commit such evil in the sacred. Most preachers of child molestation are themselves child molesters. This is the irony of life. It is the paradox of truth. Guys, this story you're about to hear will not only shock you, but also enlighten you in the complex nature of human hearts. Dr. Joseph Etuk was a brilliant medical doctor. He was a soft-speaking, mild-mannered, calm man whose patients find succor, peace and reassurance in his presence. He was gentle and loving and really cared for people. In fact, that was what inspired him to choose the medical profession as his vocation and career in life. When he got married to Francisca Amoni, it was not just because of love, but because, as the saying goes, opposites attracts each other. His mildness felt strongly drawn and attracted to Francisca's activeness. So, the doctor, being demurred, found himself drawn, seduced and entrapped by the domineering character, the domineering presence and the domineering charisma of Francisca Amoni. But after the wedding, Dr. Joseph Etuk, who had always admired Francisca's boldness and aggressiveness, thinking that now that he is married to her, she's going to use all this her aggressive nature to defend him, her husband, make him proud, and also defend the people in the society that needs a defender. But my people, Dr. Joseph Etuk was in for a big shock. After a short while in their marriage, Dr. Joseph discovered to his horror that the aggressiveness, the streak of violence in his wife Francisca was not limited to only the outsiders alone. That even he himself, her husband, was not exempted from falling under the brunt of his wife's violent streak. This man, being a mild-mannered man who is not used to extreme levels of violence, could not do much in the area of countering or challenging or changing his wife, Francisca Amoni. So guys, as Francisca saw the docility, the mildness, the calmness of her husband, it emboldened her the more. It made her more aggressive. She exploited the weakness she perceived in her husband. Just as in life, people are always looking for a way to exploit perceived weakness. But being a temperamental person, Francisca can be as much abusive and violent as she can also be loving and charming. So, after every episode of violent abuse, Francisca would turn around and apologize and shower her husband with affection, care and love. And the poor man, who is originally oriented towards forgiveness, kindness and loving compassion, will forgive his wife. Even when the rate and frequency of violent episodes in their matrimonial life became regular, Dr. Etuk endured, forgave, contained and covered for his wife. Even when she burnt their maid with red-hot iron and was arrested, sent to court and was convicted, he, Dr. Joseph, mildly, calmly and gently stood by her. Even when he knew that his wife is borderline psychopathic, he continued sticking by her. It is the weakness of love. No, it is the weakness of attachment, not love. Because in his mildness, in his gentility, he felt incapable of extricating himself from the excessive violence, excessive domineering, excessive control, and excessive influence of his wife. Maybe he derived a sodomic pleasure from being abused. Maybe he derived a subtle, crazy pleasure from being attacked. Or maybe because of his children. No one can tell why Dr. Joseph endured different bouts against him and those within by his wife. Maybe in his compassionate nature, he does not want to expose his wife into ridicule and public scandal. Instead of exposing his wife's violent tendencies, Dr. Etuk went the other way round by praising, flattering, and showering her with so much care and good words in the public. He used his Facebook account, his Facebook platform, to praise and eulogize his wife. But the reverse is the case with Francisca Amoni, because on her Facebook profile, you can hardly see any post from her praising or celebrating her husband. Instead, being psychopathic and paranoid as she was busy talking about how people will hate you for nothing, how people will hate you for doing nothing. Guys, evil people, paranoid and abusive people are often the ones who are the loudest in claiming to be maltreated, to be abused, to be the victim of that which they are guilty of. So my people, a few days ago, when the bouts of violence episodes commenced, Dr. Etuk thought that it would just be like the normal ones. It would just be like the ones they've had before, when Francisca would slap him, when Francisca would hit him with her hand. Little did he know that today's own would end in a lethal, highly lethal and fatal blow. Francisca has injured her husband before, before and he covered for her. Francisca has abused her husband to the high heavens, but he covered her. Francisca might have stabbed her husband before and he also covered her, taking it as the violence of love, of passion. But that day's own was different. Francisca was armed with a little knife, and in the heat of a mild argument, in the heat of her violent rage, of her violent temper, of her inappropriate psychiatric temper, she thrust and stabbed her husband with the knife. And before he could be taken to the hospital, Dr. Etuk, the humble, gentle, and compassionate doctor, died of overbleeding in the hand of the woman he had spent his life covering for, sheltering, caring for, praising, and celebrating. When Francisca saw that her madness had led her to commit a crime she can never reverse, she lost it, and with her 2 legs she walked into the police station and confessed her evil act. But my people, no amount of confession can redeem or revive or resuscitate the dead Dr. Joseph Etuk. And so did it happen that which Dr. Joseph Etuk covered when he was alive covered him unto death. And the pretense with which Francisca escaped imprisonment during her first convicted case has come up again. Then she was a nursing mother, and now she is a nursing mother. Whether the hand of justice will consider again the fact that she is a nursing mother and allow her to escape the arm of justice, thereby putting another vulnerable victim out there into the line of tragedy and death, is yet to be seen. Guys, this heartbreaking story of Dr. Joseph Etuk and his wife, Francisca Amoni, bears mentioning that things don't often change by hoping. When people prove themselves to be violent in the first day, please don't be deceived. That's who they are. Constant and continuous pandering and condoning evil can never and will never change evil to good. A violent person never changes because you forgive him or her, or because you condone him or her. In fact, easy forgiveness and condoning and pandering merely reinforces that negative tendency in people. So, I don't know what you are going through in the privacy of your relationship, but hear me and hear me well. An abusive person seldom changes because you forgive him or her. In fact, your forgiveness makes them stronger in their abusiveness. So, if you are in an abusive relationship, your option is to take steps that will distance or separate you from the abusive person, or take steps that will ensure and send a clear-cut message to him or her that you are not a prey to be preyed upon at his or her whims or wills. May the gentle soul of Dr. Joseph Etuk rest in perfect peace. Amen. Thank you, my people, for staying with me thus far. What do you think about this couple's tragic story? And what advice will you give to someone who is in a toxic and abusive relationship? Please let me hear your opinions in the comment section. Also, please subscribe to this channel. Press the notification bell so that you won't be left out anytime I post a new video. Like and follow our G-Squatter page on Facebook for more. Thanks for watching, guys. I wish you a wonderful day. Bye-bye.